Now I am going to discuss about defining the dimensions of an array. Well, we have successfully created the arrays, but what if we want to define because here I have a array that is actually a single dimension, one dimension, and I want a 5-dimensional array. In such case, you can use this attribute like a ndmin, and it is gonna create the total dimension as you have mentioned. Like here I have mentioned the 5, and it is gonna create a 5-dimensional array that is b. I just run this particular program. After that I am going to create a new code in which I am going to print the b, and I just run this particular program, and it is gonna show us that how many brackets are present, like how many sub arrays are present, whether the dimension is 5 or not. For example, here we have the first element, like this is the first, and this is the second, and after which we have this is third, because this is the third, and after that we have the fourth element, and at last we have the fifth element. Means we have successfully created a multi-dimensional array using this particular attribute ndmin. Well, after this I am going to discuss about how to access the elements of an array. To access the elements of array, we have particular square bracket. It is as same as a list, but it is quite different. How I will explain you. Like here we have to create a new code. I just remove this particular thing, and here I'm going to access the 0th element. In this case we're gonna use it as simple as an list. Like if you use b of 0, it's gonna access the first element of this b. Wait a second, you just rerun this, and I just rerun this particular program because it's taking the older value. Now as you can have a look at here, because I access a b of 0, it is giving me 1, and this is how we go with a single dimensional array. What if you have the two-dimensional array? In this case I just create a new brackets, and here I'm going to initialize 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm going to create a new bracket. Like this is a two-dimensional array, and to access two-dimensional array you need to have two elements in this particular array. Because we have b of 0, if you say b of 0, it is gonna access this whole array. Like from wait a second, I just rerun this particular program. After this I rerun this, and as you can have a look at here, when I say b of 0, it is gonna access this whole thing. It's gonna access this whole thing. Therefore we will use another number so that we can able to access the each elements of that particular array. This is a two-dimensional array, means a single array containing another two arrays, and using b of 0 we have access to only one array. To access another one, we're gonna use another number here, like 0, 1, and I just rerun this. When I just rerun this, well, this is the first element and this is the second element. 2 is the 1 is the 0th element and 2 is the first element. Because we have mentioned 0, 1, 0 means this whole array, and here the first element, the number at the first index is 2, therefore it is accessing the 2, and this is how we're gonna access like we're gonna deal with 2D array. After that we have the 3D array. To create 3D array, we're gonna use some more brackets, and after using the more brackets I just rerun this, and here we have to use 3 variables. Why? I just show you. When you run this particular program, it is gonna create a 2D array. Because it is 3D array, when we say b of 0, it is gonna create a 2D array. When I say b of 0, 1, it is gonna create a 1D array. Here as you can have a look at here, it is gonna create a 1D array. And if I want to access the first element of the 3D array, then I have to use 0, 0, 0. It is gonna access the first element of an 3D array, and I just run this, and as you can have a look at here, we got 1, because 1 is the first element of a 3D array. And this is how we gonna access the elements in different kinds of array with the different dimensions. Well, now I am going to discuss about slicing of the array. Well, slicing of an array is a new operation to the array, because in previous array operations, it's started from the C, there you don't have any of such thing like a slicing. It was introduced by Numpy into this particular operation, so that the operation and for the developer it will become very easy. And in the slicing operation, we're gonna slice the elements of that particular array. First of all, I am going to discuss with the normal array. I'm not going to use any 2D or 3D array. I'm going to use a normal array 1 2 3 4 5 5. Well, we have already discussed how to slice that particular array. In same fashion, we gonna go with it. Like we have already discussed in list that if you want to slice anything, you just have to use variable name, and you're gonna use the brackets in which you have to mention the indices. Like from 1, I want to slice till 4th. If you want to slice till 4th, you have to use n plus 1. If you use n plus 1, it is gonna slice till 4th element. Like here, this is at a 0th index, this is the first, this is second, this is third, this is fourth. Means from 1 till from 2 till 5 we're gonna get our elements. I just run this particular program, and as you can have a look at here, you're gonna get the element. Well, sorry for that, because we have it is not initializer. I mean, it was not refreshed, the previous code was not refreshed, it is showing some error. But if I use a 5 here, because we have rerun this particular program, it is showing us the new array like 2 3 4 5, and this is how we slice with a single dimension array. And to access every element after the given index, you just have to use 1 and the colon. And I just rerun this, and it is gonna access every element after the 2. Like if I use 0 here, it is gonna access every element after this 1. Like from the 1 till 5, it's gonna access everything. And if I just remove this, and I just mention 3 here, and I just rerun this, it's gonna access. As you can have a look at here, it has access every element that is before 3. I mean before the index 2. Like we have the 0, this is 1, and this is 2. As you can have a look at here, we got our 3 elements. And we can also use the negative indices. For example, if I use here -1, it's gonna access the last element, as we already discussed in the list. And if I use from -3 till -1, it's gonna access from -3. Like this is -1, this is -2, then this is -3, and from 3 and 4 it is gonna access everything. And well, we got our answer like this. Well, now I'm going to discuss this particular accessing elements using the step. Step is something through which we can able to filter the particular elements with the indexes. Like for example, here we have 1 2 3 4 5, and after that I am going to add 6 7 8 9, and I just run this particular program. After this I am going to add some of the accessing part, like from 1 to 5th I am gonna access the every elements. Like from this is of at 1 index, this is 2 index, 3 index, 4 index, and this is the 5th index. Because we do not include the last element, therefore we gonna take only 2 3 4 5, and these are the elements that we gonna access. After that we have something called as step. Here I am using 1 till 5 till 2. Like whenever you use any element here, it will just check whether the indices remainder with this particular number is 0 or not. For example, take example of this one. This one has an index of 0, and this 2 has an index of 1, and this 3 has index of 2. As you can have a look at here, the 0 is divisible by 2, and this 2 is divisible by 2. Therefore it's gonna access 1 and 3. As I've already explained, the step is some kind of number. If the indices are divisible by that particular step, then those elements with that indices are extracted. I will explain here. I just run this particular program. As you can have a look at here, I just remove this and I just rerun this, and as you can have a look at here, we have 2 3 4 5, as I have already explained. Like from 1 to 4 it is gonna access every element. If I mention 5 here, I am going to create a new code, and I am going to paste that older code here. I just rerun this, and as you can have a look at here, we got a 2 4. Why? Because as I already mentioned, the 2. The 2, this particular step is being checked with this indices, like this indice is 0 and this is 1, this is 2 and this is 3, and 0 is divisible by 2, therefore we have added successfully the 2. And 3 has indices of 1. Is 1 is divisible by 2? No, therefore we have skipped the 3. And it will check the 4. Is 4 I mean 4 is at a position 2, means it has the index number of 2. Is 2 is divisible by 2? Yes, obviously, therefore we added the 4. After that it is gonna check the fifth one, like this fifth element has indices of 3. Actually it was start from 0, 1, 2 and 3. Is 3 divisible by 2? No, it's not, therefore we haven't added the fifth. And this is how we gonna use the step. And if I use 3 here, I just use 3 and I just rerun this particular program. Now 2 and 5 is 5, both number are added. Why? Because this indices is 3, as 3 is divisible by I mean 0 is divisible by 3, and this indices is 3, and 3 is divisible by 3, as obviously, and rest elements are not divisible by 3, therefore they aren't added, and we have 2 and 5, and this is how we're gonna use the step function. Now I'm going to deal with the 3D arrays, 2D and 3D arrays. I just create a 3D array here, 2D array here. Just include 1, 2, 3 and comma 4, 5, 6. As we have successfully created, I just rerun it and I just create a new code. In this new code, I'm going to explain you slicing in the 2D array. I just use a B, and in the B, I'm going to use the type of slicing what I want, because I want to slice the first row, therefore I'm using the 0, that's gonna access this whole set, and here I want to access from 0 till 2. I mean this is 0 and this is first and this is second, therefore it's gonna access 1 and 2. As you can have a look at here, we got our answer as 1 and 2, and this is how we gonna access the elements, or we gonna slice the elements in 2D array. And we have another function, like if I use 0 to 2 and I use 2, here this 0 2 is gonna access everything, like this is 0th row and this is first row, means from 0, 1 and 2 it's gonna access everything, like every element. When we mention here 2, it's like step, the step what we have discussed in 1D array, the same step here. And here it's not like divisible by 2, here it is quite different. It's saying that any element in this whole array that has index 2 is must be accessed. As you can have a look at here, this is 0, this is 1 and this is 2. This 3 is at the position 2 and this 6 is also is at position 2. This is a 2D array, therefore 3 and 6 both are in position 2, therefore when we run it, it's gonna access 3 and 6, and this is how we gonna go with the slicing and step functions in the 2D array. Well, do subscribe our channel for regular updates. Thank you.